Hello, in this video I'm going to give you an introduction to the front page of your Moodle course and show you some ways that you can begin to customize the look and the feel for your student. The first thing I'm going to do is start right here in the middle where it says news forum here, like a welcome area, or they call it a summary. So when you go in and you can, put the name of your course, you can put your name, you can put images, things like that. In this section under here, numbered at 1 is what they call a module. So in this course we've got 10 modules and we can add more through our course settings, and we'll get to that shortly as well. But if you hear me refer to module, it just means each of these sections of your Moodle course. And depending on the default course settings of a new course, you may have a weekly outline, and so this may have some dates in it. So we'll talk about that as well, about deciding whether you want your course arranged as topics or weeks, and there's also a couple of other choices as well. And along the side here on the right, you have these little sections which they call blocks. And blocks are just a way of delivering information to students when they log in, like here, latest news. If you had an assignment coming due, it might say something like that, or latest news, there's a quiz assigned. What I wanted to point out here is that you're going to see these little buttons, and there's a minus sign, and that means hide this navigation block, or it just shows the title of the block but shortens up those longer descriptions. And if you click the plus sign, you can unhide the block. With this version of Moodle, it's a very cool thing that they just started doing, is if you click the button on the right, it says move this block to the dock. So I'm going to click this, and notice there's this little band on the left side, and that's where your dock is, and that's where the blocks were going to be stored. And the nice thing about this is you're going to notice is that it really frees up a whole lot of extra space on your screen for the content. That's something that you can customize for yourself, and students also get the choice of, being able to dock and undock things. And if you need to see something that has been docked, you just come over here and hover over the block, and you can also undock them by just clicking on the little blue button, and it'll put them back to where they were. The next thing I wanted to show you is that you will have some more features over here when you go and you say you want to turn editing on. And that's the first thing you're going to be doing when you come into your course always, is that you'll always have to say that you want to turn editing on to make changes. You'll see that this kind of welcome summary area has some new choices. Anytime you see the hand with the pencil, it means that you can edit. So I'm going to click on the hand with the pencil, and then you can come down here to the summary. You can just type some text, and then you'll notice here is that you have all these different formatting features, just kind of like when you're in Microsoft Word. And what is really nice here is the ability to do spell checking. So if you click the ABC tool there, it'll tell me I don't have any misspellings in this one, and I could say okay. So that's a really great feature for us as teachers. It's kind of a new one in here too. Before you would have to take your text out and spell check it somewhere else. So this is very helpful, and we're going to go into that deeper in an additional video. So I'm going to cancel this. This tool here is these little crosshairs. That means that you can move this somewhere else, and this is clickable and draggable. Then this one here will indent this element here, and I can go back. You can even indent 2 and 3 times. So that's kind of a nice way to just kind of call out that information. And then this here again is a editing feature to update the news forum. Anytime you see this little X and a 2, this is a really nice feature that's new to Moodle as well, is to duplicate. So if you have like a label you're using multiple times, or an assignment you're using multiple times, you don't have to keep reconfiguring it. You can just duplicate it. Here you can delete an element. Here, this with the eye that's open means to hide. So if you click on it, it will hide this, and then if you click on the eyeball again, it will open it. And that's nice if you have a lot of content on your page, but you don't want the students to see, everything you have. You will still be able to see the content in gray, but students won't see it. This here allows you to assign groups to an activity, and this also to assign roles. Down in the next module, you'll see we have an ability to edit the summary, just like we did up here. So every module can have its own summary, and you have the ability to add resources, which we're going to talk a lot about these things, and also the activities that you can add into your Moodle course. These options over here, the light bulb will light up a section. So like if you're on week 3 and you want to just remind students that this is where we're at, as well as hiding modules. So if you don't want the students to work ahead or see what's coming, you can hide different modules. These squares just mean to collapse them, and that's kind of like what we were doing with the blocks. So if you click the button, it just kind of shrinks those down. And if you just click the button again, it will open them back up. And then the last thing I wanted to point out is that you'll see these links at the top, and it says PD Home, Workshops, and Home. This is what Moodle calls breadcrumbs. In a site like this, you don't always want to use the back button just because it's a secure site with a login. That sometimes if you use the back button, it'll say, you know, the page cannot be displayed, and you would just need to refresh your page. So what they do in Moodle is they kind of recommend that we use these breadcrumbs, and now that means is every time you click one level deeper in Moodle, it will just give you these links toward the top. So whenever I want to go back to the home page, I'm going to click the one that says PD Home there with the breadcrumbs. So it's just a way to always be able to get back to that home page. And so I'm going to wrap up this video, and we will continue with working with our course settings. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next video.